I messed up. I hit that loop and it was going to play the video over again. As motivating as it is, I don't think we need to hear it a second time. Joe, what's going on, brother?
Not much. How are you doing, Josh?
I'm doing good. So, Josh from Operational Speed Supply tonight. We've got Joe Bella from Camaro Fest. That's and right. We've already got Brad Walker on, Brian Pico, Tim Gordon, Mike Long, all saying hi. What's going on, guys? Hope y'all are having a good night. So we've got some awesome stuff going on, and the summer is looking to be really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So,
for sure.
For a lot of our viewers, let's go ahead and just start out, man. What is Camaro Fest? How did it start? Where did it? Give us a history of this.
History's kind of fun with Camaro Fest. It started on a web forum for Camaros. A lot of people probably recognize Camaro5.com. We were all moderators. I say we being the helpers that kind of got Camaro Fest running. And one of the guys, Chris, decided that he just wanted to have a bunch of guys show up at a drag strip and let's just have some fun. He posted something about it at on the forum, and it blew up. It went from just a little, hey, let's have kind of a couple counties come together and race around to, it was going to be in Georgia. And so there were people from California saying, hey, I want to make the road trip. Can I come too?
Holy cow.
And there were guys from Canada. Yeah, but it was all talk until that morning when we opened the gates, and even the lady at the track, she didn't believe us. We told her what we were doing and how many people were interested. And if I remember right, if memory serves, and it's getting back there now, I don't even think she had the food building open because I don't think she thought it was worth it to staff it. And we opened the gates, and there was like a 3-mile long road of Camaros waiting to get in the gate. So it was incredible. She came right back up to us as soon as she saw all that. She's like, "What can I do? I'm so how can I? I'll get the food guys here. We'll So it was really funny. But that was our first year in 2010 in Valdosta, Georgia. The second year, we decided to move it to the other side of the country, went to Arizona. Chandler. Did the same thing. One of our vendors at the time, they sponsored a road course that happened on the other side of the facility. It wasn't, it was awesome they were doing it. It wasn't the most convenient thing in the world because you either kind of had to choose one or the other. It was all happening at the same time.
Yeah.
But that was the first year that anybody had seen the ZL1. Chevy brought the red ZL1.
This was what, 2012 timeframe?
The 2011 was the second one.
Okay.
Phoenix, or just outside Phoenix, anyways. And then the third one we did in Indianapolis, twice actually. 3 and 4 were in Indianapolis, and number 5 was in Houston. I think it was in Royal Purple. 6, I think, was our first year at Bowling Green.
Yeah.
Or no, how did that roll? 6 would have been 2016. No, 2016 we did it up in Michigan. It wasn't technically a Camaro Fest. We called it the Factory Fest.
Yeah.
But we worked with the Chevy guys. That's when they unveiled the 6th generation car.
Okay.
We just had to skip our show. We did it up in Michigan. It didn't have any racing involved, but they did a hell of a job putting a show on for all the enthusiasts that showed up to see this thing for the first time. Remember a couple of the guys, they were climbing on, the smaller guys were climbing on the bigger guy's shoulders so they could see over top, and they had set up like a car catwalk for the new Camaros. There was a red one, a blue one, and a gray one, and they put them up and everyone could get involved and take a look at it.
That's awesome.
So that was a blast. And then number 7 was the first time that we went to Bowling Green. We loved it. They had everything, and they were so nice and accommodating from the hotel to the track, and even the visitors bureau in particular. Hi, Janet. They're fantastic. So we haven't left, frankly, and we don't really want to. I mean, every year we talk about it, but it's too good of a place to be. They've got the Corvette Museum right there, the track, the road course track, the drag strip, and it's the motorsport's kind of in their blood, so they welcome us rather than ask how we're gonna keep the noise down.
Well, and the one thing about Bowling Green is they know how to put on events. I mean, LS Fest has been there, and now they're making Ford Fest and Mo Party, and there's recurring events that happen every year at that place. And I think it's a perfect home to have this thing every year. So yeah, Tim brought up that it was 101 degrees last year. It was muggy because it rained, and we woke up that morning and the track was wet. We had to drive laps on that thing to dry it off for the autocross.
When we did it in Chandler, I distinctly remember the soles of my shoes were starting to get soft. I don't remember the temperature, but it was hot down there too. It's the name of the game. You end up walking around on pavement in the middle of the summer. I mean,
yeah.
But
and I went to so a little bit on my history. I went to Camaro Fest 4 at Lucas Oil Park up in Indy. Mm-hmm. Absolutely loved it. The autocross setup was awesome. I mean, it was a very fast course. It's one of the few courses I've been close to hitting third gear in. And back then I had a 5th gen, and I was running Petter suspension on it. I had a set of Forge Lane wheels on it, and went with a squared setup on that. And it was a competitive car, and I had a lot of fun in that thing, and it was a great time up there. But I hadn't been back to a Camaro Fest until 21 in Bowling Green. And now with the 3rd gen, you can see my background here, and same deal. It was an absolute blast. I absolutely love the event. The format is awesome, and the same memories I had being an Indy in my 5th gen, I found it, coming back with a 3rd gen a few years later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm biased. I love the show. It's a fun time. I think most of what I like about it is the kind of, you get to see these people that you only ever get to see once a year.
Yeah.
And I mean, not that I'm at all bringing in politics or anything like that, but it doesn't matter what you believe or what you like or who you are or what you look like. If you've got a Camaro, then you're my friend when you go to one of these things. And I love that. So, I mean, I come back every year because I have to, or it's not going to happen. But I think I would anyways. It's a good time, and it's kind of low key. I mean, nothing against anybody else's events, but some of them I think are a little too busy.
Yeah.
And this one, I mean, it's half a week of Camaros. I mean, show up on Wednesday, do the road course at Corvette Museum, come have a bite, and then get your tickets on Thursday night at the hotel. Friday, race, do whatever you want, drag strip, autocross, and then more partying at night. And then Saturday, do the same thing. And then Sunday, do a cruise, and you can pop in or out of there whenever you want.
Yeah.
And just saying hi to people. It's great. So yeah, I'm biased, but I enjoy it.
No, it's a great time. And, for anyone, if you don't have a Camaro, show up anyway. It's an awesome time.
Yeah. My first 2, I didn't have a Camaro. My first car was the 2012 ZL1. I had VIN number 214, nice. But I didn't have the car in Valdosta, but I went anyways. In fact, there's a picture somewhere. I'll have to find it one of these days. There's a picture going around the oval. We decided to get everybody in the oval about 3 wide and take a picture of the oval just filled with Camaros. And my friend Chris, the one who did it, ran it that year. He let me drive his.
Yeah.
And he knew full well, because we drove it up to Valdosta from Florida. I'd never driven a stick before. Yeah. So I was going around the oval in his car, and we all got our thumbs out the windows and stuff. And there's a picture of the blue car, a silver car, which is Mike's, and then a gray one, which was Doug's at the time. I love that. I got to find that picture because I love that picture. But I didn't have a Camaro that year in Phoenix. I didn't have a Camaro, and Indianapolis, the first year I had just bought the car, actually. So it's still fun if you don't have one. And frankly, some people don't want to drive it that far, and I kind of get it. But show up anyway. Rent one, get insurance, and put it on track.
That's exactly it, though. And what's funny is that Brian Pico, and Brian's on our OG race team. He's got a beautiful first gen, nice. Known as Zoran, the God of Speed. It's an unbelievable car, LS swapped, and he whips that thing around the track like there's no tomorrow. Same thing. Paul Brimmeyer says the same thing. He's also got a beautiful first gen that he tears around the track as well with an LS swap. So, yeah, if you don't have one, get one, whether it's renting it, buying it, whatever. So good buddy of ours, Chris Brown, he's a big Mustang guy, and we're gonna get him behind. We're gonna get him behind the wheel of a Camaro at some point in the future. But yeah, the event's awesome. We have a blast out there, and you guys have done an amazing job running it. And we, I came back in 21, came back last year, and I had a blast with it. And as OSS has started to mature a little bit, we're starting to look for ways to kind of outreach and reach people. And one of the things that we've definitely wanted to do from the OSS standpoint is be part of these events that we love. We were fortunate to be able to sponsor UMI Motorsports Park, which is up in Pennsylvania, a little bit closer to you than it is to us. But it's an awesome place, and everything that you're talking about with Camaro Fest, it happens up there as well. And the same thing, we've got people that show up to these autocross events at UMI from across the country, as far away as California, and people crossing the border from Canada, and it's a blast, right? Camaro Fest, the same kind of thing, and we want to be able to give back and support in some way. And so you and I talked, I want to say what was back in January. We talked maybe in December. So. It was a while ago, but we talked about how we could somehow come and support this. And initially we talked about the autocross and some support on the autocross side of things. But as time's gone on, some of the people that have been running the autocross for years are not able to make it this year.
Right.
And it's unfortunate they're not able to make it, but the show must go on. And it just so happened that, we had that conversation right after you found out that, some of the help wasn't going to be there. So
yeah, it was a day. I'm thankful every time I look back on it, because if it had been any longer, I probably would have had a heart attack in between.
But with all that, saying all that, we are excited to be part of this thing. And after, you and I talked, and, I got introduced to the Camaro Cross team, and they put on an awesome show. And the way they run the autocross is just really well done. It's fast, it's fun. And whether you're a beginner or whether you've been racing for a while, it is just as fun for anyone that's out there. And it's gotten pretty competitive. There's a few of us, Brad Walker, Tim Gordon, myself, Mike Long. We were all Ryan Wilhelm. We were all getting up there and beating up on each other last year. And we weren't – I don't think any of us were in the same class, but we're all running right neck and neck, and we're watching each other. One of us gets off the track. It's like, man, you're going to make me work for that. But, and my big focus is on the autocross side of the house, but the drag racing competitiveness out there is unbelievable. You're seeing cars get down to the 9s and 8s, man. I mean, it's incredible. So
yeah,
we kind of went to the drawing board this year, and I presented this idea to you about a month or so ago. And what I wanted to do is kind of add a little bit of splash to the event while keeping it within a good sportsman's, a good sportsmanship kind of atmosphere where it's competitive, but at the same time, there's an element of camaraderie that's going to go with it as well. To where it's not just, going out there and trying to, win the whole thing.
Right.
So we came up with this idea, and we're going to call it the Pro Class, and it's entirely voluntary. So when you go to register, if you're going to do the full racers package and you want to be part of the Pro Class, you just let us know, be part of the Pro Class. And when it comes to the autocrossing, you won't be classed in any of the traditional classes that have been there for years now, the C1 through 5. You're going to be separate in Pro Class, and there will be no your car is what you got. It's run what you brung. But in addition to the autocross, we are adding drag racing as a component. And God, these comments coming through. Holy cow.
It's getting bad.
So again, Chris is a big Mustang guy, and they're talking about natural selection at Mustang shows where there's crowd control. So we're introducing this Pro Class. It's going to have drag racing. It's going to have elements of, it's going to have the autocross. It's going to have a car show. And then we're going to throw a twist on this thing. And that is a Camaro 20-question quiz on
A quiz.
general Camaro knowledge.
Yeah.
And here's what's really cool about this is the quiz questions are going to come from the attendees. Mm-hmm. So on the Camaro6.com, Camaro5.com forum, we're gonna post up there and start getting feedback from everybody. On the Camaro Fest Facebook page, we're gonna put out and start getting feedback, and we're gonna take the questions, and then we'll put a vote to it to see what ones are the most favored, and we're gonna throw these in there. And so let me go ahead and share this up to the stream. There we go. All right. So you've got to compete in the entirety of the autocross. So that includes going to the shootout if you make the shootout. Now, going to the shootout does not take you away from the running of winning this thing. I want to make sure that's highlighted. And we're going to get to the point breakdown. Yes, Tim, you got to study for a test that you have no idea what's going to be on there. Pay attention to the forum and the groups to see what could be there.
Your head's going to have to be just as smart as your foot.
Exactly. Now, for the drag racing, it's not, you can enter whatever class you want to, but the idea behind the drag racing is just get 3 passes in, bring us the time slips. We're going to take your fastest pass. And then the car show, you've just got to go get it judged at some point. And as long as you come with, the judging slip that your car has been judged, we get an idea what your, the points were on that, and then we'll go from there. And then the quiz, we'll do down by the autocross. So no phones allowed. You can't bring your phones out. There's no phone a friend, anything like that. No Google, the best friend of all, right? And then we're going to take that. And so the way this is going to work is the autocross, they'll compete in the drivers. It operates the same as the classes, but the breakdown won't be based off a time index. It's going to be based off of placement. So if you are showing up in a full tube chassis Camaro race car with slicks, and you go set the fastest time of the day by 3 seconds, great. You're still only going to get 50 points. Second place might be 3 seconds slower, but they're going to get 48 points. There will be a bonus if you are the overall fast time of the day, but that is incumbent upon everybody. So if someone decides to join or to autocross and they're in C5 class in a 1LE ZL1 or a ZL1 1LE, and they take fast time of the day, you're not going to get those bonus points even if you were fastest for this pro class. So it's got to be overall fast time of the day. The next thing is the drag racing. You just got to get 3 passes prior to the Saturday shootout for the autocross. Any class that you want to use to get out there, just get out there. And again, first place, if you run a 999 and the next fastest car is a 12.4, you're only getting 50 points. They're going to get 48. So this is where the equalizer comes in, right? It's going to be cumulative points over the entire duration of the weekend.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note that, like you said earlier, you're competing against other pro class competitors. You are not competing against kind of the general attendees. So if there's, 15 people that sign up for this and they want to just go against each other, that's it. So you're going to get placed 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 15 in each segment. Yeah. So you don't really, aside from the bonus points, you don't really have to worry about anybody else at the event that weekend. That's your bubble. That's who you're fighting. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's only against the pro class. And what this is, the intent behind this is that, we had talked about this in some of the meetings that we've had with Talking Camaro Fest, is that there's a crew of people that are showing up that are very competitive in autocross. And some of them are in bone stock cars, and some of them are in very, highly modified, well-prepped cars, and they're all running with each other. Brad Walker's in a 4-cylinder 1LE, and the guy runs at the top of the class. I think, we're all beating each other up for 1, 2, 3, 4. Ryan Wilhelm, very talented driver, and he shows in a mildly modified 6th gen. Tim Gordon, same thing. Myself, Mike Long, and all of these cars and all of these drivers are very good drivers. They are doing, a lot of great things, and it's awesome to see. So this is going to pull them out of that normal crew of people that may autocross once a year, and the only time they do is at Camaro Fest, and it gives them an opportunity to compete against each other, against other enthusiasts that might not be as
as fully committed to autocross as those of us that would join in this pro class. So that's kind of the intent behind it. Now, the car show, they just judged as if they are in the car show. Provide the scorecard to us at the timing table down by the autocross, and we're going to take that and we'll tally up points that way. Now, in the event of a tiebreaker, we'll give those two people equal points for that particular thing. So, if the score is out of 1,000 for the car show and two show up with 1,000, we're going to give them both 50 points. We're not going to break it down and do tiebreakers. If you equal, and we'll give you the same points on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the quiz, 20 questions, Camaro trivia. We're going to bring this from the enthusiasts. And the way this will work is going to be, if you miss 0 on it, you get 50 points. If you miss 1, you get 48, and so on and so forth. So it's not really you're not necessarily competing against somebody else. If everyone gets perfect score on this thing, they're all going to get 50 points.
Right.
Kind of make that clear for everybody. So what this is intended is to equalize some of the cars out.
Yeah, I think when you look at the 4 categories here that folks are going to be competing in, you've got the drag racing, the autocross, the car show, and then this quiz. And for those of you that maybe forgot how the math works on it, that's a quarter. This quiz is a quarter of what you're going to get. The show is a quarter of what you're going to get. The autocross is a quarter. So you could be a rock star on the autocross course.
Yeah.
But if you kind of suck it up on the drag strip and somebody else, takes that lead, you're even again. And that's going to be down to the show and the quiz. That's what's going to make this really fun.
Yeah.
And hell, maybe you've got a car that's in the 8s and you can lap the autocross course. So you don't have to worry about the quiz. You'll be fine.
Yeah. So yeah, the whole idea behind this is to bring everything together and kind of create that equalizer, and move this forward to create some excitement and really just see where it goes. The rules, very simple. It's open to any and all modifications. So if you want to show up in a tube chassis 2nd-gen race car, show up in one. If you bought a body in white and decided to build that thing into a full, monster Camaro, right on, do it. However, you've got to use the same tire all weekend, and we're going to mark them so we know. If you blow a tire, you can replace it with a like tire, but only that singular one. You got to compete in all the events. You've got to get at least 3 Camaro cross laps and 3 passes down the drag strip. And you're going to have to purchase the 2-day racer wristband. Okay. And we'll have this set up to where you can, you opt into this, and we'll take people opting into this up to the day we start. You've just got to get your passes in, and you've got to get the autocross laps in and get the car show judged. And the quiz we'll do at the timing table at autocross. All right, we're getting a couple comments here. Let's talk these. So Brad says it's kind of like the Optimus series of things. Yes, it very much so is. We wanted to keep it, add the excitement, but also focus it on the enthusiast side of things with the trivia quiz and, things like that. Because that kind of things to bring us together as opposed to, making it super competitive to where we're all just, now no one's sharing anything. They're just sitting in their own corner. Like, how do I beat this guy kind of thing. Mike talks about, did a similar event in Atlanta, except they had a hot lap with 3 drag racing runs. And that was interesting. I'm sure you definitely would be, especially if you don't have a lot of experience on the drag strip. People don't realize how hard it is to launch a car and get it down the track without spinning the tires. All right. Title of King, Queen of Camaros. So this is something, I threw an idea out there. I don't know if it's going to stick or not, but I want to leave this up to the enthusiast as well to decide what the winner of this is going to be crowned. Is it the King or Queen of Camaros? Who knows? My idea that I threw out there was to call the winner of this whole thing the Panther, as a lot of people, they know their trivia. This is kind of giving something away. This won't be on the quiz. But the original idea for the name of the Camaro was the Panther, and they ended up scrapping it and moving forward. So That's one idea that I threw out. But again, I want to leave this up to the enthusiasts to make that, to give us some feedback on what we could do with that.
Yeah, it should be interesting. We found, well, a bunch of years ago when we had awards out for drag racing, there was a sponsor that was offering cash awards for just a few classes. I forget exactly what it was, but the feedback from the attendees that we got was like very vocal. They wanted something to hang on their wall. That cash was great, but I want something to hang. So
we've got one idea right here.
There you go. Oh, gosh.
If that idea wins, Tim Gordon will be responsible for making the belt.
There you go. Maybe all the competitors in the pro class should have to wear mullet wigs for the weekend.
Oh, that's part of the entry.
Identify you.
If you want to be part of the pro class, you show up with a mullet wig. You know what? That's it could show your level of commitment. I'd say mullet wigs and a pair of jeans with holes in the knees, and you have to be playing some form of 80s hair metal while you're racing.
Yeah, one of those white wife beater shirts there, whatever they're called.
A nice something, you know, like it's 2 sizes too big, and then you cut the sleeves off of it. You got to harness your inner Vince Neil.
So we're really excited about this. It's something to jazz it up. It's been a few years since we've done something a little different. I mean, show's great, but it's always cool to kind of mix it up. We're still in the well, actually, we're not probably in the decision-making phase anymore, but we're gonna address the car show situation. We decided this year that when we put tickets for sale, car show was free, open field, public voting, and we were trying to get some more people involved. There was some pretty vocal feedback on that from the folks that like to get their cars judged, and so we're gonna alter that a little bit. I haven't quite nailed down the details of how yet, but we will. So that kind of feeds into this, and that there will be the opportunity to have your car judged, and the pro class guys are going to need to do that.
Yeah.
And that doesn't come down to like who's got the fanciest hood paint or something like that. That's going to come down to how clean your car is, how well it's taken care of and put together, and they're going to be looking at that. So talk about leveling the playing field. If you're a fantastic autocrosser, then your car's not going to be particularly clean. It's all kind of coming together, and I'm super excited to have this new feature for people that are into it. I think, frankly, I hope not everybody signs up for it, because I don't know how we're going to handle that, but I hope a bunch of people do, because it's going to be fun to watch.
Tim Gordon, he wants to add a spot for the judging, sexiest cone rash. If you have cone rash, then you've obviously not ran well. Mike says he ain't scraping OPR off. Maybe we could do this. Maybe we make sure that the car judging happens after everyone's taken laps.
I say we leave that up to the attendees to strategize.
That's a good point. On a car like mine, where like I've got it wrapped the way I do, but it has no interior, I'd have to. I think I might end up taking a very hard hit on the car show end of things. I might need to throw some lipstick on a pig and get some Hobby Lobby cloth in the interior or something.
That's okay. Start studying. Get those points back on the quiz.
Isn't that true? But so we're excited about this and the support we're going to throw at it in what we're doing. We're having the Camaro Fest stickers and everything made for the autocross, the door stickers, which I think the design we've got turned out really nice, and they should turn out really well. The other thing that we're going to throw at this is that the winner of the pro class, I mean, we definitely are coming up with some sort of a trophy idea, whether it's Tim Gordon's wrestling belt or whether it's something else. But the more I think about that, the more that sounds like a great idea. But we're also going to throw a gift card to OSS to the winner in the sum of $500 gift card to the winner. And that's just as appreciation for participating, showing up, being out there, and having a good time. The biggest thing is we want to see people having a good time, and the goal that I have is that people talk about this and ask for something similar next year, whether it be the same format or maybe we make some alterations. But I definitely want to see this talked about as as the year progresses after Camaro Fest.
Yeah, and it's fantastic that Josh, you're supporting this the way you are. I don't think it's a secret that there are fewer vendors out there for these cars than there were in 2010.
Yeah,
and, well, maybe I should say 2012. But the folks like yourself that are still coming out and supporting the event, that's what makes it great. I mean, the people are great. I guess I should have started there. But having the vendors and companies come out and interact and do like events like this, you've been very hands-on and excited about it. So I just want to say thank you. And I think it's going to be great.
Definitely. And that's one thing, my wife and I have talked about this. My wife's a business partner with OSS, and we talk about this a lot. And a big part of, you want to be a business owner, you want people to come buy parts from you. And that's, I want people to buy from you because that's what we do. We sell parts for people. We sell, coilovers and brakes and wheels and the whole gamut of anything you want to do to build your car out. But there has to be a level of community that goes with it. I can't just sit and scream at people, buy from me, and throw marketing in their face. I got to be willing to give back. And that's one thing that we've definitely wanted to show is that we're not in it to just take everyone's money and send them some parts. We're in this because this is a family, and we're really happy to be part of this family. And any way we can give back and help make something special and memorable is a big thing for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I can't agree more.
And I got to tell you, thank you for the opportunity. I mean, our everything kind of lined up for this to kind of come to fruition, and it's something special to us. And I got to tell you, thank you for this, and we're excited, man.
Yeah, so are we. Somebody just threw a meme up there somewhere on Facebook about that feeling when you realize Camaro Fest is only 3 months away.
Yeah,
it's coming up quick, and I every year I look forward to it. I really do, and it gets to a lot of people know I'm a school teacher, so by the end of the year, it's sort of the countdown of not the summertime, but when do I have to start packing for Camaro Fest? And
yeah.
It's getting close.
It definitely is. It definitely is. But we're excited to be out there. We are going to put some we'll post up some stuff on both the Camaro 6 forum and the Camaro 5 forum, and then the Facebook page on starting to get some feedback from everybody on A, what the title of the winner should be, and B, we need these trivia questions. So start thinking. We'll take any and all submissions and filter through them and come up with the 20 best questions. So if you're paying attention out there, you're studying for the quiz is being active on the forum.
Yeah, and I had a brainwave earlier when we were talking. I might try and get the quiz questions once we pick what we like.
Mm-hmm.
I might try and get them vetted by the FBOT father. That would be a fun little.
That would be perfect
test.
Oh, it definitely would. I think that's a perfect idea. So with that, Joe, it's been an awesome conversation tonight. We've had a lot of good conversation with you and with everybody watching tonight. So I want to tell you thank you. I know you got a busy schedule, and coming on hanging out with us tonight and giving us the opportunity to announce this whole thing. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It was fun being on, and I appreciate the streaming. Conversation for everybody could see what we're working on and what we're talking about. And
yeah,
we'll keep plugging away and we'll take everybody's ideas. And like I said, I'm just looking forward to getting back out there. It's been cold long enough over here.
Yeah. It's funny down here, it hit 85 degrees last week. And then Saturday it rained. And then Sunday it dropped down to like 60. And I think we had 39 at night and 60 in the day. And I'm like, this is not, I'm tired of switching the heat to AC to heat to AC.
Yeah, for whatever it's worth, I think last week we peaked at around 78. And then today it's like 42. So I'm pretty over it. Mike, you're welcome. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, again, Joe, it's been a pleasure. Thank you. Everybody out in Facebook land, thank you. We're going to reshare this thing on, I'll reshare it on the forum, and then I'll reshare it up on the Camaro Fest group. But pay attention and start, we'll get a post up there to start shooting your question ideas.
Yep.
So looking forward to it.
All right, Josh, we'll catch you later.
All right. Take care, brother.